Hey gang, it's Laurie from Quick Scrap Craft. I'm in my car right now bringing you my July to read list, and that's because taking some advantage of kid free time, and actually I needed to stop and get off the road because it was like crazy raining, and so luckily I came prepared. I just happened to have all of my July to read books in the car with me. How about that? I planned it. I was gonna do something in the car anyway, but I really needed to get off the road because it's crazy raining. So I'm gonna go through the books that I'm planning on reading for the month of July. None of them are holdovers from June. I read all of my June books, so I'm really proud of myself for that. And there's a summer reading program for adults at my library, so I'm super excited to be participating in that. I already have one book on that list, The Middle Matters, which there will be a review going up on the blog very soon for that. That book comes out very soon too, so stay tuned for that one from Lisa Jo Baker. But let's get into the books that I'm going to read for this month. Okay, my first book is a book that I picked up at BookCon. It's Here Now by Kate Merrick, and it's all about kind of finding yourself in the present, not being so focused on your digital devices, the internet, all those things that distract us from really recognizing where we are, paying attention to what's around us, what we're doing, our families, our kids, that kind of thing. So I'm excited to read this book. I'm sure it's stuff that I've heard before, but maybe there will be some new insight that will make me take a look at my own screen time and help me implement ways that I can live more of a distraction-free life. The next book I picked up is a library book, and it's called Less. It's written by Andrew Sean Greer. I've never read anything from him, but this book won a Pulitzer Prize and was a national bestseller. I think I must have read about it in a magazine, maybe like Oprah magazine or something, who knows. But I put it on my to-read list. It came out a couple years ago, so it's not a newer one. But it's about a guy who gets an invitation to his ex's wedding, and he's like, I want to go, I don't want to go. Yeah, it came out in 2017, so it's 2 years old, and it's in paperback right now. I got this at the library. So it's kind of his journey to try to avoid going to the wedding. It sounds really funny, and it's really short, so this, I think, is going to be a really great summer read, and I will let you know what I think about it after I finish it. Another library book that I picked up is I Am by Isaac Mizrahi. I love Isaac Mizrahi. I remember a really, really, really long time ago, he had a collection at Target. It was amazing, and I was a little too young to have the money to buy any of it, so unfortunately, I don't have any Isaac Mizrahi for Target items, but I know he does sell some stuff on, I think, QVC, and he's got like bedding and clothing, all sorts of stuff. He's really created a brand for himself, and I watched a documentary of him several years ago. I just think he's a really fascinating guy, and I love his story, and I've never read, I think this might be his only memoir, only biography. I don't think he's he did write a book that was more like fashion based, and I'm pretty sure I read that one, but this is all about him. So I am Isaac Mizrahi. So I'm excited to read this one just because this is a person who I really admire and like. I also got a review copy of the new Stranger Things young adult novel, Runaway Max. I have no idea who this is or what this story is going to be about. I think it kind of, if you know who this character is, I'll tell you in a second. This is kind of like how she came to be, what her character was doing before she appeared on the show, I believe, like a prequel. My husband and I just now started watching Stranger Things. We are 2 episodes in. I know we are way behind. Still on season 1. Hopefully we can get season 1 finished. I know season 4 is coming out this month. So if you're a fan of Stranger Things and you maybe want to pick this up before you watch season 4, or you can read it while you're watching season 4, just as another way to have some more Stranger Things stories. I'll let you know what I think about it when I'm finished. I was also sent a review copy of Aurora Rising. This has 2 authors, Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, and they together wrote the Illuminae Files. So I've never read that book. I don't know anything about the other authors, but this actually came out in May, so I'm a little behind in getting to it, but I will do a review of it. It's young adult, it's science fiction, and I just think that it looked cool. I think the cover looks cool, and I'm always into, the young adult science fiction stuff is really, really fun to read, and it's a little more, maybe like more accessible than adult science fiction sometimes. So, and I think this might be part of a series. It says Aurora Cycle 1. And I love getting review copies of stuff that's going to be a series, because then, especially if it's good, it makes me get excited for the next books. It's happened multiple times. Marie Lou's series. There was another series, I can't even think of it. I read it so long ago. There was another one by Shannon somebody, and I've only read the first one, and I haven't gone and gotten the rest of them. But I love discovering new series because it's always really, really fun. Oh, Girls with Sharp Sticks is going to be a series. That was the first book. I can't wait for the next one. I just love kind of like continuing the story of these characters, and I think it's really great. The series are really great for younger kids who to continue to get them reading. If they like the characters in the first book, then they will want to continue reading the second book. And like in my BookCon haul video, I talked a lot about how there were super fans at BookCon, and they were all teenagers. And this is what happens when teenagers read books. They get so into them. And it's not just the books and the characters, it's the authors too. So I think it's really exciting when new young adult novels, new young adult series come out. And I encourage even adults to read them. And especially sometimes if your kids are reading them, it's fun to read it along with your kid. Sometimes you want to know what's going on in the book, what your kid is reading. So, but even if you don't have a kid or you don't have a teenager who's reading the book, I would still recommend reading it even if you are an old adult, not a young adult. This one, Trevor Noah's Born a Crime, is making it on my July list because my husband picked it up. His 7th graders are reading it for their summer reading. So he recently read it and he said, hey, do you want to read it before I take it back to the library? And I said, sure. It's been a while since I've watched The Daily Show with Trevor Noah. I kind of got out of the habit of watching it or watching TV in general, unless it's The Real Housewives of something. But I do like his story, and I am curious to hear about it from the man himself and how he got where he is today. I think my husband liked it, and hopefully his students like it as well. I also got from the library Pet Sematary by Stephen King. I'm pretty sure this is a TV movie, or was it a real movie, or like a limited series or something? John Lithgow was in it. I don't know. But it made me think. I have never read this book by Stephen King. I read The Shining, and I liked that better than the movie. I thought the movie was blah. And I also read the Dark Tower series, all of them. I read all of those books, mainly just to impress a guy. But really those are the only. Oh no, I read Misery too, and that was really good. But I really haven't read much else from Stephen King, and this one is like a classic, so I thought I would give it a shot and see what I thought about it. I also have on my Amazon Fire a review copy of No Ocean Too Wide. This is by Carrie Churansky. A lot of people in the Waterbrook Multnomah launch team Facebook group have already read this. They received physical copies. I was not chosen to be part of the launch team. I was not chosen to be part of the launch team, but they sent me, the ebook version to read anyway. So this book is coming out soon. I don't know much. I think it's like historical fiction. It sounded interesting, which is why I applied to be on the launch team for it. So I do still want to read it, even though I'm not really like obligated to write a review and help launch it. But if you like historical fiction, I think this could be a good option for you. Everybody else in the group seems to be liking it. I haven't seen any negative reviews for it, so I will let you know what I think of it once I finish it. And the book I've actually started on this month is The Nature Fix by Florence Williams. Florence Williams, I think. This was a book club pick for the Simple Scrapper book club, and it's all about how getting out in nature is really good for your creativity. And I have to say, like, this seems to be the theme for me this year. I've read the books about trees in the Bible, trees in nature, and nature in the Bible. I've been reading something else in the Core 52 book, devotional book that I'm doing, that was all about God's creation and how we spend so much time in like 4 walls of a church. Well, those of us who go to church. But really we're ignoring the creation out around us. And that's like, God made that. People make buildings. So anyway, I definitely agree with the stuff that's in this book so far. I haven't even really gotten into it. But the author was prompted to write the book because she was doing like some app research for this app company that was asking people to log in at random times during the day where they were and how they felt. And the research found that people were most happy when they were outside. However, people only were outside 7% of the time. 93% of the time, they were actually spending time indoors. And it really makes you think, like, why am I sitting on the couch scrolling through Facebook? That's such a mindless, dumb activity when I could be getting outside, not only getting some fresh air, but also some activity, some exercise. And I have to say, like, sometimes I have to leave my office at work and just go for a walk outside, or just change the scenery. And then I suddenly come up with a great way to open a video review that I'm going to do, because I got outside the office. I got away from those normal distractions, being in front of the computer, having the computer to distract me, having people around me talking to distract me. I hate open office plans. I swear to you, they are the worst. And I'm pretty sure that everybody who works in one hates one as well. The only people who don't hate them are the bosses, but the bosses are behind closed doors. So anyway, that's another story. But anyway, the Nature Fix. There's a Bible or a book study guide for this on the Simple Scrapper website. I like to, after I read the book, I like to go through those study guides and answer the questions, even though it's just me. I'm not participating with anybody. And I also have been marking stuff in the book so I can go back later and remember some important passages or important facts that I really liked to write down in my book journal. And hopefully you've watched my book journal video so you can see how I'm doing that. So those are my books that I'm going to read this month. What is on your July to read list? Let me know in the comments below. And also don't forget to click subscribe so you never miss out on more books and scrapbooking videos. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.